Welcome back to another rebuild, and we will be doing the Saints today, who actually went the decent draft, in my opinion, there for the NFL draft coming up here. But yeah, as you can tell here, we are not looking very good. I mean, we have a few players. The offense apparently can't even be above 500, and the defense is above 500 in passing, and team spreads pretty good. But everything else, not to mention that Davis might retire, Matthews might retire, I think McCoy's close to retiring, Kumara doesn't want to sign, it's probably going to regress soon, and he doesn't actually do anything in real life in that season 10. But let's see if we can turn this around. And we'll be running with Coach St. Pete to see if we can actually win them a Super Bowl with this man here. Alrighty, so after taking a look at everything here, I should probably make myself smile. There we go. After going through the free agency and everything, we have some signings. As you can tell, we have the best player on the board, Justin Reed, strong safety. But with him, we also signed a few other people. So let me move my camera so you can see names. There we go. We have some aging talent in a few positions here, and there's also some relatively young, but also some a little bit older talent that we have. I'm gonna admit, we're not winning the Super Bowl this year. This is not a 1 year. This is not a year one Saints team. Yeah, it ain't there. Even if I take a quarterback this year, I still don't like the idea of that just because 31. But like most of the other linemen are going to be here for a while, which is good to see. But I think we need a receiver. Maybe around 2-3 quarterback if we still have one. But obviously, an outside linebacker of some sort is a need. Because currently, Dodson's my best option, but I also need D-tackle. End is on there, of course, but like, once again, I don't have a lot of options at the moment. We gotta get some picks in to make some people happy. But we'll see what we can do. I don't hold a lot of hope, but we'll see what draft capital we have, and I might even making some moves with some people out of here once this draft starts. Like, I don't know, getting rid of that person. Or that person. Or that person. Saying. Might be a fire sale coming, folks. Alright, unfortunately, I don't see a top 5 talent in anyone we scouted. So I'm going D-tackle, get Terrence Gatewood. Even though it probably in the outside linebacker more, there's two there, top 5, that are around 2-3 talents. So we're not touching them. But Tharovs, Gatewood, power rusher, D-tackle. Mostly because the skills aren't bad. The B block shooting for D-tackle is huge. And he's nothing fantastic. But he's around 1 talent. 17th. So not great, but not awful. But he's hidden, which is preferred. We all love the hidden. So moving on to maybe the second round, we'll find out here. I might be making some trades. I might. I don't know yet. We'll see. I made a move. I got me a left guard, which means I'm moving the dude we just signed because I got a younger one who is better. And also I got some picks, because I want picks. We moved him for a 3rd this year and a 7th in a few years, but it's fine. I got what I wanted, which is I just kind of want him off the pay roster at that point. Well, this is now awkward. Remember how I said I couldn't find top 5 talent? I found top 5 talent. The issue is I need an outside linebacker. Actually, I got an idea. Hold on. Trade got made. Got rid of my D-tackle, Brandon Brees, to get me a left outside linebacker. He's only 73 overall, but he's a star. He's also only 23. First off, looked really great, and I got a 3rd round this year as well, and a 3rd round next year. So, we're taking that D-tackle now that I thought about, because I went and made a move once my controller batteries are not dead. Guys, this is why you need to prepare for certain things in your life, or in my case, I need to actually heed the warning of my Xbox controller when it says it's gonna die, and I go, nah, I got time. Didn't have time, apparently. I should really cut all that out. Here we go. George Linton. Double D tackle in the draft, baby. Best player off the board. Let's go. I kind of figured it seemed normal, but I want a best player. You're going to hand me 2 fantastic D tackles who are young, and they're both going to start more than likely, so I'm okay with that. I'm all good with that. First round pick, their first pick in the 3rd round for us, because I know we got a few now because we made a bunch of trades, is going to be Justice Melvin, who's a pretty good catcher at tight end, and frankly, I could use it, so I'm not going to be upset. Frick, did I misread that? Never mind, not very good. I'm going to shut up now. I'll be the first to say I don't know how realistic this is, but I hate everyone in this draft, so I'm trading everything away, and I'm trading all of these picks out. So, this is the last you're going to see of me, because all of my picks from like the 3rd, the 4th, and anything after this are getting kicked out. So we're going to the recap after I'm done with all those trades, which I won't show you guys because there's just going to be too many of them. I was going to trade picks for picks, if it makes any sense. I was going to trade picks for picks here and just move everything back to next year. And then I thought to myself, well, if the Browns weren't, if the Packers weren't sold with who they had at receiver, they would take 2 receivers in this draft. What stopped me from taking the 2 people that are going to expire soon for some capital that they would have probably preferred in real life? So that's what I did. I'm going to turn them into superstars. I have no idea how yet, but we're going to figure out how we're going to move the rest of these picks and make some capital here for some star players. Well, since they took an edge rusher here, I'm going to take their right end here, give them the rest of the picks for the draft, and give them a 4th round for next year. On to the recap. Alrighty, and the recap gives us the following. We only took 3 players. So we had a 75 who we took first. The 77 who is the top player in the draft, which means me trading everybody away was a fantastic idea. Now, would that happen in real life? Probably not, but I went with somewhat legitimacy, but at the same time, not. Wow, there are a lot of set. Okay, let's see who won this. First off, I feel like the Raiders got screwed. You took a 1 of 1. And they tied the overall with people taking 230 and 25. With 2 later round receivers who were really good. And I traded for people who were better than them. They're granted they're a little bit older, but still. And then there is a few of the first picks here with the left tackle and myself. But with that being said, this makes this team very interesting now. Because if we look at this really quickly, we were really good at putting up points. We were really good at throwing the football. We had Derek Carr, who I technically can still start. Honestly, I probably should. I should probably remove rather. Now, the defense was a problem. Now, we took 2 D tackles. We signed a fair bit of people to try to help the defense a little bit while improving the offensive line for the running aspect of everything. But to generate the best lineup, I have 2 69 overall quarterbacks. I now have given Carr better receiver options, not as much a better tight end group or running back support cast, but they're still serviceable. And I've given him a better O-line to sit in the pocket with. And not only do that, we have a better offensive running line to work with. Defensive side of the ball, though, is where things get interesting, because I took a hit at middle linebacker. I've improved the strong safety, and I improved I took technically a downgraded end, but he's a lot younger. And he's still starting. And I have 2 young D tackles who, one, should progress very, very quickly. So, who knows, that might turn around to be a plus side for me, but let's go to that mid-season point for you guys. Maybe even the end of the year, depending on where the record stands. It might be a really short mid-season drop-in. Alright, so we're having some problems with this next year, and that is the fact that most people don't want to re-sign with us because according to them, we either don't fit what they want, and apparently New Orleans is not a big market. Like, at all. I'll show it to you in a second, but apparently it's not. So we're making moves to get some things done because I'm going to lose a lot of people. And Travis Jones here is the perfect example of he doesn't want to be here. Why? How is New Orleans not a big market? I don't know how, but apparently it's not. So since it's not, most of the people who we want to be here, this was when we were going to try to think about moving anyway, but that was until week 8 because I thought we were going to have a shot at this, but apparently we don't because people like Christian Watson. And this is a scheme fit issue. I might be able to flip this. Yeah. They don't want to be here. So that's the issue currently. Well, we are once again 2-4. We are sucking. No one's at the top of the leaderboard anymore, and because I made one move, apparently we can't make passing yards now. I moved out one person. Now, that doesn't account for injuries or anything. Now, here's the biggest issue. I want to re-sign Travis Jones. I like Travis Jones. The issue is, he doesn't want to be here. And Fred was like, oh, just move some stuff. Hold on. I can change the scheme fit. The biggest problem is, apparently New Orleans is a tinier market than anybody else here. That's my problem. So he's going to have to get traded. And I'm going to trade Ryan. Or Ryan, this man, because unfortunately for us, once you hit 30, you start to stink. So let's do those two. I did sign Christian Watson, by the way. Alright, so we made some moves with some people who didn't want to be here. One, of course, being our right tackle. He wanted to be here. Normally in the NFL, I'd say re-sign him for another 2 or 3 years, except in Madden, once your overall starts to take a dip, it can't be used anymore. So, unfortunately, we did have to get rid of him. I did retain Christian Watson, but I also left room for us to actually draft somebody like they should. Or did. I kind of forgot the draft already. But, as we tell the defense, it looks like so. The reason we have this man is actually to replace our right outside linebacker now that we traded for somebody who's better than him. Is that a proper use of his career? Probably not, but it is what it is. Unfortunately. So we have made a move to shore up Ojibari now be taking over as a raw outside linebacker. We're going to try to move Warner for either an end or a tackle. Actually, we're going to move Jones first because he doesn't want to be here for an end or a tackle. And then we'll see if we can get something else. Let go. Trade got made. Jones is leaving for a right tackle, who is a slight hit, I think, at right tackle. But he's only 26, so we are going to take him. Put him in here, giving us back to around an 80 overall offensive line. And of course, he doesn't look here. I didn't look at it before I moved him because I've been sitting here. I had to scroll through literally over down to S's to find somebody who wanted him, which was hard enough. And now we're going to try to move Warner for that. So let's see if we can do it. Alright, we moved him. We moved Warner for an end. Again, that's more of the aging factor than anything is why we're moving people. But Warner is now moved for Jermaine Johnson. And a lot of 7s and 1/6. So, this is probably one of the few times my defense is actually better. I left my cameras over this so you guys can't tell. This is one of the few times probably my defense is better than my offense. But, if you look at this, quarterback can definitely use an upgrade, and more than likely, if we get a top 5 pick here, we take quarterback who's actually ideally a top 5 selection or first rounder. We're in good shape. Defensive side of the ball, looking good with the stars, baby. Looking good with the stars. Jermaine. Damn it! We're in the same issue that we were before, but I think we have Jermaine for a few more years. So. It is what it is. We'll see if we can re-sign anybody. I don't think we have to. Will we look okay? Nope. Alright, starting here is Taylor, who's not getting re-signed, and then Gainwell's also not getting re-signed, and everybody else can walk. Actually, do I have him? I have another free safety. I'm going to try to trade away Matthews really quick. Now, the issue is, Matthews, I'm pretty sure, walks in free agency anyway, or he retires in the first place. I don't know. But either or, I have the reason to keep him, and nobody wants him. Well, he's going to start, so we're going to put him in and leave him there. So let's go to the postseason and see how poorly we do, because we definitely aren't making playoffs. And go figure, we went, like, completely awful. I mean, we can throw the ball somewhat decent. We apparently can do somewhat decent pass defense, but that's really about it, which is kind of expected, to be fair. I mean, this team wasn't great with the LSU. Grade definitely worked out a little bit well for us, but we're looking at a top 5 pick. They have us going quarterback, but it's a round 1-2 talent. And honestly, that was the concern, is neither of the quarterbacks, if I go to show you really quickly, it's like the regional breakdown. If I go to quarterbacks, there's not a lot on here, for being honest with ourselves. Like, that was the concern. And these guys are not fantastic talents, if we're being honest. Like, that's the problem. And honestly, what we're looking at here, like, that's honestly the problem, is they are not great talents, to say the least. So, like, that's probably the worst quarterback class, and the issue for us is Derek Carr, unfortunately. Now, do I think he's going to be this bad in real life whenever he gets there? No, but unfortunately, due to Madden and them hitting an age where they regress like crazy, you've now hit the point where Sam Rattler, who's been sitting, might be a better starter. Now, I didn't put him in because honestly, I don't think anyone thinks Sam Rattler's the QB of the future. But we got some people in place. Nothing crazy here. The plus side is, at least for the most part, I need to pick the positions of strength. Like, I don't need to, there's not a hole to fill, and I think that's probably the other biggest problem currently is, this team currently doesn't have a hole that we need to fill. So it's not like, oh, I need to go get me a right end. It's a, I have a decent right end, I need a better one. Which sucks. Alrighty, unfortunately didn't get anywhere. I'm not gonna check, I'll check the yearly awards really quickly for everybody. I don't think we're gonna get anywhere on here, so nothing, go figure, we gotta go to NFC, nothing, we got number 1, which is George Clinton, which means more than likely he is now at least superstar, if not X Factor. But you also see the other guy, Gatewood, up there too, which is good to see. Nothing. No, take it back. McCoy's on here. I got Johnson on here. Great trade. Got him here. The issue is he doesn't want to be here. I'm going to be salty about this. The fact that it's so hard to get people. Paulson Adebo up here, along with Reed. W's. I got 2 guys on there. And nothing to see from kicker. Alright, take it back. Myers, who signed a 1-year deal, so we got to get a kicker anyway. But, again, not a biggie. So we probably got at least 2 superstars then, at least in the Debos. I'm assuming it was enough for him to maintain. Olave maintain. I'm assuming his stuff. I didn't look at it. Is his stuff set? No! Make it make sense to me, people, why that man's stuff's not set. He's slot automatic because I'm pretty sure he's in the slot 9 times out of 10. I think it's the first time I've ever seen that somebody have that. That's actually kind of a dope one. I think he's slot. I gotta double check that. But apparently his stuff's never been set, which honestly is a hindrance to him. I think Moron would go up the superstar, got the star. I don't think he was star before, but I could be wrong. Holy shit! First off, Clinton was a steal in the second round because this man went from normal dev to superstar. Everyone's gonna think I'm cheating here. I'm elite persist. I want to change persistence. Yeah, but I gotta check everybody else real quick. So let me go check everybody else, and we'll go to the end of the stuff here for you guys because you don't guys need to do abilities. Alrighty, after some free agency, as you can tell, we got some decent high signings here. But we got a decent punter and kicker. We got J-Mo back at receiver. We got J-Mo for receiver there. I did sign a quarterback in Geno Smith to compete for the current starting job. I do have to go through and do the scouting of everything. We might be taking quarterback first round. I might be trading back. I don't know yet. I got to figure out where we want to go with this, in all honesty. But if we're looking at team-wise here, if I throw in a just lineup out there, ba-bam! You got a tight end, which could definitely be used because, well, let's be fair here, Lucas is technically my second, and that's my backup left tackle currently, because I got Trent Brown to take over at right for the time being. Could probably use an upgrade at running back, but we got two solid deep threat receivers here for Rattler or Gino, whoever we want to play, but currently it's going to be Rattler. But in terms of the defense, I really didn't touch much. I really didn't need to, for being honest with ourselves. It wasn't much to really go after, except grabbing us a decent secondary third, fixing this D-line and everything's here and up and running. So, we'll see what we can come up with. We got the draft here, and we do got a very early pick again. I think if I show you guys the mock here, we're sitting at pick 2. As you can tell, the quarterback selections are not very good. The next one being a 1-2 talent. If I go to quarterbacks in general, or prospects, they are not very good. This is probably the worst quarterback draft I've seen yet. And, like, I dumped in stuff to try and find that next talent, and it unfortunately will not pan out. Now, unlike real life, all that means is they're not going to be a high overall. They're still going to probably be hidden. They're just not going to be very high overall talent. Which begs the question of, do I take them? In real life, if I had this much of scouting and you went, hey, this person's not going to be a very good talent that they need to develop, I don't know if I take it because I got other holes, really. I mean, I got to go after a running back. I got to go after, in my opinion, I got to go after a running back. I go after a tight end. And I really don't need the receiver part anymore. But those are the two big ones, and I probably should try to find a right end. So, looking at this, I might have to do some last-minute scouting of a right end or something else here so we can move, what's his name? Because we know he doesn't want to be here. Just so everyone can tell, and I'm being fully transparent, apparently our guys have been offered some offers for Trent Brown. And that is pitiful, and I'm not taking that. Never mind. That was stupid. I don't know why I haven't recorded for that. So, unfortunately, if I'm looking at this, we don't have any talent here that really says I need to go take them. The reason I'm saying that is I didn't scout these two. My heavily scouted quarterback was a fail. And the ends and everything here aren't very good. That's a problem. So I think I'm going to entertain some offers here to see if I can move back. I'd say latest I'd probably want to move back is probably, if we're looking at this, I'd say probably like the Titans. I'd say probably is how far back I want to go. But we'll look at some offers. We'll see if we take anything. We'll come back with an answer. I'll admit we got some entertaining offers here. Part of me wants to take the Commanders offer and then move again because I don't want to pick here, and they're going to offer me the third, so I want to bounce twice because they're giving me a boatload of stuff. It's all later items, but like the third and the fourth are probably the only enticing part, and those are both in this draft. So that would go a long way to possibly trying to turn some stuff around, because then I can take some talent and move them in a package deal to get a better talent. But the only other one that really is tempting, in all honesty, I like the Carolina one a bit more because they're giving me their second. But I know the Titans on here have a tempting offer because they were kind of my cutoff point to go back. And, where'd it go? They gave me somebody. It was like somebody was at 7 or something here. I lost it. I mean, the Bears are on here, obviously on here. They're giving me a 1, 2, 3, 6, 6. So, like, they're tempting. Yeah, there's the Titans offer. 1, 8, 2, 4, 5. Like, that was probably the farthest back I wanted to go. I think I go Commanders, and then I think I move again. So, let me accept the Commanders offer so that they can pick, and then let me trade back again. Because I don't want to do this. Next pick. I don't care who you took. You're not taking my quarterback, so I don't care. Trade away. Review offers. Again. There's the 9th. I'm assuming I can still get some offers here. Like, that was a tempting one. The Commanders want their pick back. I almost want to give it to him in all honesty. That's kind of funny. There's a lot less teams that want to trade up apparently, which that kind of stinks. I don't know why I'd accept the Jaguars pick there. So this is kind of a bummer. I'm not gonna lie. I probably should have. I thought I could move again, but apparently the move again option's not working out in my favor. I'm not. Part of me wants to do the Bucks because I get a second first out of it. I think it's gonna take me another year. So I think trying to get 2 1s out of it. I don't want to move too far back because I think I can still grab a quarterback. The issue is I'm not sold on the quarterbacks is the problem. And because I'm not sold on the quarterbacks, I really don't want to trade out of this first, but I'm going to take the Commanders first and second next year along with their second this year to give them this pick back. So I'm going to let them have 2. I'm going to take the capital and move into the next round here and see if I have a really quick selection. It was a really tough decision by me there. And they don't have one of the... That's upsetting because I know I put so much effort into trying to scout for some of those guys, and that just did not pan out, unfortunately. That is really upsetting to see. I don't mind the running back here with elite acceleration, good speed. I mean, a 4.49 is not great, not terrible. I think we're going to go here. Honestly, I think I'm going to do it with probably the most 2 scouted people here. I'm just going to take the first one initially that I know I wanted, which is probably this running back. Yes, sir! Yes! 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 Absolute banger of a pick. Thank you. Now, the question is the person who I thought about right after this, which was the left end that we scouted 80%, another one on here. Now, block shedding being a B is great. The moves being an issue and everything. He is marginal speed. He is not fast, but he is strong. He is really strong. I'm going to take it. If he's hidden, I move my guy. I move the other guy. If he's hidden, I move. He is not. That's upsetting. But I think we got another... We aren't into the 3rd round again here, so we're going to skip, and we'll see what we can come up with in this 3rd round, because we got, 2 picks? We got 2 picks in the 3rd here. I'm going to reach to the extreme and take Leo Bryan, a scrambler quarterback. Mostly because he can throw decently well in the run. He's got good moves and everything. He's got a good break sack, and he's got moderately good accuracy. So his overall might be low to start, but frankly, I think he's going to be a good player. Yes, he's hidden! This might become a god pick in the 3rd round. It was going to suck as overall to first, but really, I know I got 2 years, so I'm not too mad about this, considering I know I have 2 years. Now this comes to a large head of a problem, because there's no good ends available. I don't want to take a tight end, but I probably should. Mostly because you get some fair ones sitting here. Like the lower end catching's not great. The good speed's not fantastic. The elite agility's nice, but like, everyone knows what I want here, which is I want, like, the catching can be mid. I need like the great speed. I need like that great separation ability of a tight end, and I don't see one here, which kind of stinks, to be fair. And unfortunately for me, I don't have a lot of scouting done elsewhere, so I don't know who's good. Now, it's saying I need to go quarterback or tight end, and I already went left end earlier, and I just went quarterback, so technically the tight end should be my next pick. I'm gonna go, I mean, he's fallen so far, this feels stupid to take him. At 20, I mean, he's up 23, he was around 1-2 projected talent, so I'm gonna go here, just because it's just based off of that, I'm gonna pick him. I don't really have a lot of... I mean, again, I could trade out, but I'm not doing this again 2 years in a row, which was a whiff. So, unfortunately, we're simming. We're letting things go. But I think we got the QB for the future, and I don't think the end's going to be anything in all honesty. Alrighty, for the recap here, obviously, we have our running back, who is a 75, the left end, who is a 73, and unfortunately, the quarterback coming in at a 69 overall. So we're going to hope he at least jumps to like a 70, 71 come end of... my brain's not functioning. Preseason. That was what I was trying to think of. That was awful. If we're going by overalls, though, best one was a 1-1. And then a lot of people wanted to go after this receiver, apparently. Brian Motes, which kind of stinks because I don't know why, but people really wanted to go after him for some reason. Even though we clearly failed at 2-1. It was a great pick as well. Not a great draft by us, unfortunately. Again, the biggest issue is none of the people. If I go round 1, there was a quarterback taken. It was Westbrook. He was a 73. So he was a better overall, but like he'd been a starting overall for me. But he wasn't fantastically better. Like that's the biggest issue. Is none of them were great. So unfortunately for me, it's kind of where that's at. None of those guys were like, oh yeah, we got to look at this. They're fantastic players. They're not. But I think, yeah. But unfortunately, he's currently sitting at the lowest. But hopefully by the end of free agency, he can make his way into the starting lineup. Obviously, the tight ends are kind of bums here. And then I might try to move some people here. But unfortunately, the biggest other issue is nobody really took over at the end spot, which kind of stinks, but it is what it is. Alright, it turns out I might have actually been wrong in what I was saying. I know I was running him as my star quarterback, but we're 5-2. I don't know what's going on. Apparently, we can play both sides of the ball really well, which is first off awesome to hear. Second off, it's really sad to say that my rookie that I drafted, Clinton, who by the way was normal dev but top 5, is now an 88 overall, my 3rd best player on my team. But we're leading the AFC South, which is dope. And we got the 2-5 Panthers up here. Looks like we had a good win over the Cardinals. Close game over the Broncos. I don't know how they're doing because I can't see them, but not leading in anything, unfortunately. That's fine. What does the team look like? We're going 5-2. Who is leading this? Oh shoot! All right, so the quarterback that I took turned out to be a superstar. I mean, he's a 75. I think that gives him at least one ability with spin cycle, which is fair because he is a scrambler, so spin cycle's fair. That running back we took's up to an 83, so he's going ham with spin cycle and goal line back, which goal line is kind of ironic considering he is a elusive guy. But everybody else looks like they're going well. Olave's back up to into the 90s. Jamo's getting close to it. Watson's at an 85, 84-ish range. Everybody else looks the same. He's going to break a 90 overall here soon in a little bit. And then, I mean, this is starting to look good. I mean, we might be able to make a run here. What do we got contract-wise? There are 17. 17's scary. Jermaine Johnson doesn't want to be here. Ken Condry, I don't really need him. Did I get anything for him? Does anyone want him? I don't know if anyone wants him. Okay, we got some offers. We got a corner who actually, Martin Emerson Jr. is actually a really tempting one. Juwan Taylor's not out of the question because, now granted, the Juwan Taylor pick, can I trade Khalil Herbert? You're not seeing the field. He's out for 5 weeks, so no, I can't trade him. He won't be back in time. Okay. Not a biggie. Now, I'll admit, the Juwan Taylor trade for Miller there is interesting for one reason. I'm going to show it really quickly. He won't start because Brown has the right, but then that means, like, I can get rid of Lucas, because if I'm not mistaken, Lucas is a right tackle who would be the same, but I think he might be younger, barely. But that gives me a trade option out of there, which, in theory, if I make that trade, I can then try and trade him to try and get someone to replace Jermaine Johnson. I don't know. I gotta look into that right now. Yes, I did change shirts. I just got a shower. And we did make the Condre Miller trade for Taylor for a 4th and 5th this year. Or 4th and 5th in 2 years. We gave up a 6th in 2 years, a 7th in 2 years, a 7th this year, and a 7th next year, along with it, for all that. Now, the reason I say that is, one, Juwan Taylor now wants to be re-signed. That's fine. He just won't be here, though. So what are we going to do now? Immediately flip him for ideally an end. I don't need Trey Benson. I don't need the middle line, that young middle linebacker, although it'd be great. I don't need it. I don't need this. I don't need this. I don't need this. Ooh, Leonard Williams. The issue is Leonard Williams is 32. But we got some teams that are interested. Let's see if we can find a team interested in Juwan Taylor and then manually make a trade for an end. Alright, so we got for Taylor in a 6th in 2 years. Not this draft, the one after that. Moved for a 5th in that round, the 5th year after, for Drake Jackson. Which means Jermaine Jackson can now get traded to... We can do a 2-for-1 and now try to upgrade a position with him, which is a plus. Now the question is, what do I want to upgrade? So let's figure that out. 2 things. In real life, I don't think this trade would ever happen. But in 3, it's an absolute overpay because it's individual. It sucks. But I got what I needed. I'm getting rid of Johnny, who frankly was going to replace Mac Alves, personally. Jennings, who didn't want to be here, and Pennington, who wasn't going to be there, and I gave up 2/3 this year and a 5th in 2 years. So I'll take it, personally. In real life, that's a complete overpay by like 800% for him, but that's partly because Madden rates him so much higher, and he does really well at Madden. It's not a doubt. So reordering everything currently gives us the following. Lucas is in until McCoy is back in 4 weeks. But with that being said, the superstar weapons for Bane and himself are growing. Now I know... Can I please take this off? I think it's absolutely awful, personally. I don't think they ever try to hit stick you, so I don't think it's even worth it. That one. That one and spin cycle, because if you want to give my guy spin cycle, I'll absolutely abuse spin cycle a few times. I probably could use him if I actually play anything. But besides that, everybody else looks pretty damn good. Even so, the ball wise, nothing really out of place with being honest with we're clicking along. Jackson takes over now at the right end, so he's now officially the lowest starter on this defense, but I still think that's going to be a fine thing there. I'm not super concerned with any of this, so it's good to see. But let's see what we can do now that we've done the following to try to make this team great. We've definitely made it interesting. We got a good slot. We have an interesting third down power back combo. I'm not thrilled with my options at slot corner, but it's fine. Everything else wise pretty much works out, so I like it. See what they can do. I'm kind of curious. I mean, I tried not to blow up this chance, considering for some reason we're 5-2. But at the same time, I was prepared to be like, yep. By the way, I guess I really don't feel like resigning Khalil Herbert, but up the years and I'm back. Dude, I'm not taking a 30-year-old running back. No. Especially at 77. You're going to fall off so quickly. But yeah, everybody else kind of is pointless to resign. Part of me went to offers Trent. The issue is Trent sometimes either drops dramatically or not at all. So I think trying to resign him is worth it, because he'll always be a trade target. There's no way Gino's coming back. It will be something Fuga option there. So besides that, we're moving on to this thing, and we'll see if they can perform by playoffs here. Well, this is a faster turnaround than I thought. We made playoffs. It's 9-8 only, which means we kind of shit the bed in the back half of the season, but I feel like we only got in because we had a better record than Carolina. I mean, at 9-8, technically, if we would have been 8-9, we would have been out. Right? Who was? Carolina got in. Why does it say? Hold on, what? This is why I'm saying this gives you confused. If you look at this, it says X is clinched playoffs, Y is clinched division, Z is clinched home field advantage. So as you can tell, the Packers have Z because they're 14-3 and they're more. But like Philly is Y because they were 14-3, but they were made playoffs. Or they clinched their division. But like Detroit, Chicago, Washington are all X because they made playoffs. The part that's confusing me is if you look at Carolina, they also supposedly clinched the division when they're not in. We're in. I'm so confused. But if you're looking at this, I mean, technically, what? We were better in points per game, better in passing yards, not as good as in rushing yards. They did a better job at letting up less points than we did. What? We were better against the pass, able to run than their defense was. So, I don't know. We have a shot here. I personally think we have a shot. Nobody here on our team leads in any category, which kind of stinks. But I think Cincy's got the most leaders, if I'm right. I think they're the only one with 2 on this board, except for Baltimore. Sorry, because Baltimore's got Rams are receiving and sacks. Cincy is passing yards, and that's it. Actually, passing yards and receiving yards. I think those are the only 2 with double. Well, no, sorry. Dobbins is rushing and McConkey is receiving, which makes it kind of funny that their quarterback's on there, but still funny. But I guess I'm just gonna sip it. I'm not even gonna play it. I'm just gonna sip it out. We won, dude. I wholeheartedly expected us to lose. I was like, oh, we're not getting in this. This injury challenge. Even injury. Ooh, actually, that's meaningless. That's meaningless. So is this. So we're good, actually. Honestly, we got no problems at all now. At this point, which is kind of great to say, but I am moderately concerned. Bane does get himself Player of the Week, though. I'll admit I'm moderately concerned because obviously the Eagles are better in most categories, except for 2. But yeah, I don't see us winning this one, but we'll see. I mean, we surprised. I'm actually gonna watch the ending of this one because, I mean, we apparently kicked the crap out of the Bears, which I wasn't expecting. So we'll see if we can take a win here home against the Eagles. All right, we got a minute 14 left. We're working our way down the field here. 3rd and 1. 3 timeouts remain. And all we need is a field goal for us to win this, which feels utterly stupid. I feel like we shouldn't be involved in this. Kyle Pitts just dropped the most wide. Madden, I swear I'm going to lose it on you. We're going to go for it. Again, 4th and 1. You have a superstar quarterback, superstar running back, superstar receiver. Who do we give it to? The, 70 overall running back. Make that make sense. You have a superstar quarterback who can run and is good at running. A superstar running back, a superstar tight end, a superstar receiver, and you give it to the dude who is 2nd string and trash. Timeout by Philly called. I'm assuming it's an injury, unless the sim actually, they updated the sim finally, because the sim before wouldn't call timeouts. Forced a spike, because I don't know who got there. Was it Sweat? I'm assuming it was Sweat. Yeah, it's Sweat off this right side here. Okay. I was like, I don't know who got there, but they got there fast. See if we can hold them. Running back, gonna take the ball for a few yards. Timeout called again by us. I don't know why we called that so quickly. I'd prefer us to run this clock down a bit more. Handoff is made. Not going to get there. Immediately called the timeout there by Philly to keep as much time as they can on the clock. Boswell coming in for about a 40-some yard field goal. Boswell kick is up. And good 2-point lead. 2 timeouts to the Philadelphia. Who is kicking off? Is that the running back? Is that Cooley McKissick? Who kicked off? Who has superstar and is doing my kickoffs? Devontae Smith is on a tear today. But we're going to see here if Shahir and Adobe and all of them can keep them off and out of field goal range. 2 timeouts, 36 seconds left. Hurts will run for like a gigantic chunk of yards. What are we doing, defense? That was the biggest blown coverage. I swear we're running zone. This is man. Rookie. Everyone got him in the backfield. No timeouts left for Philly. 16-second runoff. 6 seconds. They got to score. This got to be a touchdown. Inbounds. We won. Oh my gosh, we won. We beat Philly in the divisional. Holy shit. Holy shit. Dude, I didn't even look at who was on the AFC side of the bracket, but I might have to start considering who's there. Bain didn't even throw a touch. Hurts at 5. How did Hurts threw for 5 touchdowns? That means if I'm not mistaken, that's every touchdown that was a throwing touchdown. It was a passing touchdown by Hurts. And we didn't throw a touchdown once. Hold on. Who does this put us against? So we either get Green Bay or Detroit. So we get someone from the north. KC's not in it on the... What is happening? What? Okay, first off, you have AFC North in the divisional. We're playing one of them for the NFC Championship. You have the number 7 Steelers beating the number 2 Kansas City Chiefs handingly. Chargers beat Jaguars. Bills lose to Bengals, which that's somewhat believable in all honesty. I gotta sim this. I gotta. I'm not even going to skip anything. Yeah, I'm not cutting any of this. We're just going right over. I know it's a 4-minute long clip and there's no transition or anything here, but we're just going through it. We're just banging out these 2 parts right here. So we get Go Pack Go. So it's 1-6 and 1-3. Dude, we squeaked it. I wholeheartedly didn't expect us to make playoffs, let alone win the division, let alone barely squeak the division out. Beat the NFC East number 2 14-3 team to then have to go against another 14-3 team in the Packers who score the most points, give up the 7th least, give up the least amount of rushing, have the 2nd most rushing. We have better passing stuff though. We're in for a fight here by all means. But we have a shot. And I think that's the scariest part is we have a shot. I guess we're going to watch the end of this game here. I don't know what to say. Well, this is an interesting turn of events. We have a 6-point lead, a minute 47, and we're kneeling it out for a win in the championship. What is happening? Where is this coming from? Like, did we switch back? Like, did he go down hurt middle of the season for some reason? Is that why we lost so many games? Like, what? Where is all this coming from? That we went 5-2 to then end the season 9-8, which means we won 4 games, lost 6, if I'm right. Yeah, that's how math works. How is this happening? We end the season 9-8, barely squeak into playoffs, but make it, and then proceed to beat 1-2, and whatever heck else the Bears were, and we beat the Bears in handingly fashion. Please don't punt this. Please, for the love of... Why would you even punt it? There's no point. We win. I'll take it. I guess we're going to the Super Bowl now. I don't exactly know what happened, but I'll take it. Alright, we have a 13-4 Ravens team who we actually have an advantage over, but is apparently far superior in almost everything than us. But then again, so are the Packers. So I'm a little concerned because this shouldn't be happening. I'm curious to see who or how that went really quickly. 27-7 or 27. Why were the Steelers so close? Why were they so close? I mean, I'm very happy to have never had to play them yet in a playoff as a Steelers fan. It makes me very happy. Yearly awards are as follows. MVP is Burrow, which we're not super surprised about, though. I mean, I'm not on here for Coach of the Year, but I feel like if you include playoffs, I should be. Offensive Player of the Year, nothing. Nothing. Bain gets second in Offensive Rookie. I don't know what Wiley was, but I'm assuming it's... I think it's a receiver. So the Packers would be awesome. But we also have Godwin up there, so the running back's right there. And then you have Boyle, who is the other running back. So I have 3 people in contention. 2 of them are top their thing. Defensive Rookie of the Year, nothing. I don't think we had any real good defensive rookies, which is fair. Bain gets 8th in QB. I don't think this is enough for him to get X Factor, but it might be. Godwin's up there at 5th for running backs. That's huge for them. Nothing except for Olave got up there at 9. And unfortunately, no one from the team there. Clinton makes it at 10 there. That's pretty good to see. Nope. That DB one hurts considering how well they were last year. That one actually really bothers me, but nothing we can do about it, unfortunately. I'm assuming nobody went up higher, but in terms of like X Factor or Superstar, I don't think anyone really jumped, but let's take a look just to be safe. No, they didn't, at least on the offense. We have Olave, who's sitting at a true 91, a true 87, a true 84, a true 87, a true 87, a true 87, a true 82. Not bad. I mean, this offense looks really scary. Oh, sorry. To be honest, this offense looks really scary. Like this, honestly, it's kind of terrifying how well this team looks. He got... What? How did Clinton get X Factor, first off? He won't get it till 95. He's got a while to go. I'm assuming... I mean, I gotta say run stuff. I mean, the man put in there for those things at the reason, so I gotta say it. I mean, everybody else here is just looking like, I'm in shock. I really am. Who is doing... Why is Jalen Reed so good at kickoff for some reason? When did that become a thing? I'm almost crying at that. But I guess we're going into the end here, and we're going to see if we can win a Super Bowl. Because we have a shot. Alrighty, it is 3rd and 7. We are up by 3. No timeouts left for the Ravens. This should not be happening. Open. Are you kidding me? We're going to win this thing. Oh my God. There's no way the Saints win this in like 2 years of me doing it. There's no freaking way. Dude, this shouldn't have happened. I took a quarterback who was dog. And apparently he's got the dog in him because he's doing this. Dude, this should not be happening. It shouldn't be. This should not be happening. I'm at a complete loss for words about this because, again, this isn't right. Like, that should not have happened. I mean, we won. I'm going to queue up the rebuild everything here in a second and let everybody know what they need to do. Alright, so how did the Saints fix what we did here? Well, what did we do? We brought in a better guard and a better tackle. Technically, you did that. With your first overall pick, you picked Banks Jr. So that doesn't fix the tackle situation, but you have a few years. You didn't bring in what I did, which is brought in someone to win now. So technically on them, they're building a franchise. I'm looking to win as quickly as possible. That was kind of the idea, was how quickly kind of turn around and get each team a Super Bowl. That's how they did this. I took Bane, late round pick, a little later than they took Tyler Stroud. So that could pan out the same way. People don't think it will. It might. But I've also brought in 2 really good receivers, and they didn't take a receiver in this draft. So I'm a little concerned with that if I'm them. Now, they also didn't touch they took a running back in Devin Neal in the 6th, so you very well could have, I don't think you're going to have a Godwin, but you may have a good quality, high quality back. So, keep that in mind. In terms of your defense here, let me bring up the airbacks so you can see overalls and everything. You are not going to find someone like Reed here, so like that one was a flyer. You did take Stanker in the 3rd. That could become this, but again, you're playing the long ball. I was playing the short ball. We upgraded the outside linebacker position, and they did that. And we also upgraded. We downgraded middle. We upgrade the outside, and they did take Studman, which technically hits that. Now, the other thing they did was I found a 3rd above average corner, and they did draft Riley in the 4th. Well, they're forced there, so that might become something. By the way, Studman won the 4th. I don't know if I said 3rd there. If I did, I misspoke entirely. Now, I also took 2 really good D tackles early on, and they did bring in Braun Broughton from Texas. So they may have hit one of these. You either hit a really good overall or a superstar player. Now, they also brought in a defensive end in the 7th round, Diggs. Could become someone close to Jackson. Little ambitious, of my opinion, for me to say that, but it could happen. And you also brought in Matua, what's this, tight end from UCLA, Maliki Matualulu, I think is how it said their name, which, let's be fair, is not a Kyle Pitts. It might be closer to a Melvin, and Melvin was serviceable, and he did well when he played, but you still probably need to find your number 1 tight end. You may have a good 2, you need to find the 1. So if we're looking at this team, what did they do in the draft that shows promise to having them be in a Super Bowl? Again, I did this as a one-off. So like in the one-off, Trent Brown probably retires. I don't know who else may leave, or else we're not getting back. So like this team's not set in stone to win another Super Bowl. But even if they aren't, they're in a spot to compete because without Brown, Lucas is still here, and we're in a position. Now, again, with that being said, I think that would require, you gotta require a lot of Banks Jr. Basically, you're forced 4 picks if you're the Saints need a panel. Banks Jr., Stroud, or Trot, whoever the quarterback is, I can't say his last name for some reason. Broughton and Stanker from Virginia all need to pan out. Oh, and Studsman, sorry. I forgot Studsman there at the end. Oh, who's your linebacker? Those are the first, 4 to 5 picks there. The first 5 in the first 4 rounds, they all need to pan out. And then you probably need to hit at least on Diggs in the 7th there. That's got to be something. He isn't got to be superstar. He's just got to be medium. Like, Jackson here's not a superstar, but he's middle of the upper tier. Where's he running? He's, again, middle upper tier. He's I hope I did this. So, I think they get a good first step here with taking a promising tackle. The quarterback ones, again, they took a flyer, I took a flyer, that's how it worked. D tackle was needed, which equates to probably one of these two, if I'm right. It should equate to one of these two in the middle here, which is good. They run a 4-3, so it's good. And frankly, they both sucked in the first place. Now, you could have kept Breeze. I just didn't like him. I wanted to move. I wanted to go after both 2 rookies because I knew we were in a good spot to take 2 rookies when I did it. Because I came back with Clinton in the second round. I took Gateway to start. I came back with Clinton after trading Breeze before the second round pick. So, that's the only reason I say it. Besides that, I mean, I think they hit all their spots in the draft. Like, all their spots of need that I took a key player at, excluding strong safety, but you took Stanker at safety, and you already had Bullock and Matthews, so I didn't touch their other safety. Matthews retired, or left. I think he retired. I chose not to retire. So, besides that, you hit the O tackle one, you hit the QB one, you hit D tackle, you hit safety, and you hit linebacker. Now, if your 6 and 2 7s pan out to be, again, mediocre at best, like we're saying 20, we're talking 20th in the league. So if you're looking at like a 20th in the league, around the 20s, I think you're fine. I really think you handle it. Ideally, the tight end's probably closer to the teens, mid-upper teens. But again, if not, you can still say that you handle it well. But with that being said, that's kind of how this went. So we were able to get them Super Bowl, and reflecting on their draft class, they hit the spots that we went and took heavy. Not as heavy as us, but still they hit it heavy, and I give them credit for it. You went to a draft and you picked what you needed, and I can't disagree with the draft. Now, do I think some people were better people available at certain positions? Yes, I went to say Shador instead of Tyler Stroud. Banks Jr. I think was a great one. I like Broughton. Stanker again, thought was a great one there. And then Studsman, I'm a little concerned with Studsman and Stanker, but your 1 and 3 out of Texas, I think, are very, very good. Besides that, I think we got done what we need to get done, which will show you guys can win a Super Bowl in 2 years. And I think they showed you guys that they're definitely taking that step. Because the positions that we went and target heavy, they went and did the same thing. I appreciate you guys for watching. Come back for the next one, which will be their counterparts, the Atlanta Falcons. I'll see you guys then. Have fun.